Hello everyone, welcome to Simplilearn's YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about Tableau. Tableau is a very powerful and fastest growing data visualization tool used in the business intelligence industry. It helps in simplifying raw data into very easily understandable format. Data analysis is very fast with Tableau, and the visualizations created are in the form of dashboards and worksheets. So today we will learn Tableau through the following agenda. First, we will understand what exactly is business intelligence and what is the importance of business intelligence in real-time business. Followed by that, we will have a brief introduction of Tableau, and we will also learn how Tableau really helps in business. Next, I will guide you through the installation procedure, where I will help you to install Tableau into your local system. Once the Tableau is installed into your local system, we will have a brief tour about Tableau, the kind of worksheets you can work with, the kind of data it can import, the options provided in the Tableau, the kind of charts, everything. So once we have a better understanding of Tableau and the options provided in it, we will directly move into the worksheets, where we will work on the Excel data and try to create some worksheets. Once we are good with the worksheets, we will enter into the next segment, where we will understand how to create a real-time dashboard. I hope I made myself clear with the agenda. Now let's begin with our first topic, that is the business intelligence. So what exactly the business intelligence term mean? So to understand business intelligence in a much better way, let us imagine that you have started a business. So a business of online marketing, where you sell some phones, some products, and some other items which are necessary for your customers. So what would you do to best reach your customers? First, you will understand their needs and requirements. You will either try to mail your customer or try to contact your customer through a phone call, and you will understand what exactly he needs and what type of requirement he has. Just imagine that your customer needs a phone. You will understand his need and then try to call him and understand his requirements. For example, it may be an Android phone or it may be an Apple phone. So he will be having some requirements, certain size of RAM, certain size of ROM, and extended memory or operating system. So you will basically understand his needs and requirements and try to provide him with the best product. So in this situation, if you provide him with the right and best product, then you'll be having a good customer satisfaction and positive reviews. This customer satisfaction and reviews come under the sentimental analysis. These sentimental analysis and positive feedbacks and reviews from your customers will help you gain more customers, and in result you will have a good market profit. So this is what exactly business intelligence means. So to make things easier in business intelligence, we have certain softwares: Tableau, SAP, SAS, Oracle, MicroStrategy, Qlik. These softwares are the segment leaders in market research and business intelligence. So today we will be learning about Tableau. So why Tableau? You might have that question in your head, right? So the answer for that is, according to Gartner, there are multiple business intelligence softwares like MicroStrategy, BestLooker, Demo, IBM, Salesforce, Tableau, Microsoft, Qlik. But the best in the market leader in the ability to execute and completeness in the vision, Tableau is ranking in #1 position. Now we have understood what exactly business intelligence is and why Tableau is on the top. Now we will understand a brief introduction to Tableau. So Tableau is a business and analytical software tool developed in America. Tableau helps people to understand, visualize, and make data-driven decisions in real time with extreme agility and accuracy. To better understand what exactly Tableau does, let us imagine that you're given some data in the form of Excel sheet that has thousands or even lakhs of rows and some hundreds of columns or even thousands of columns, and you had to kind of filter or kind of apply some operations on that and get some insights of that particular data. So basically, if you do it in a brute force method, it could be really time consuming. But what if there is a software that can write all the SQL queries possible on your data, and all the data you wanted is readily available, or all the information you ever wanted on your data is readily available just by a single click. Yes, exactly. That's what exactly Tableau does. It automatically writes all your SQL queries in the background, and it can provide you the information in the form of a variety of charts like the bar charts, pie charts, and it can even give you some live data and also the advices based on which you can move ahead and improve your business. Now let's go through some sample data and understand how it exactly does it. So on my screen you can see some Excel data which is based on some store in America. So here you'll be having different regions of America, that is South, North, East and West, and the category of furnitures, subcategory bookcase, and etc, which kind of category is selling most in which kind of region, and what's the discount, what's the quantity, and what's the profit, etc in this particular Excel data. So you'll be using this particular Excel data to get some insights of the sales happening in America. So this is how business intelligence works basically. So here we shall use the Microsoft Excel to get the necessary insights of this particular data. Now just select all these cells of this particular Excel and select insert, and on the left corner you can see pivot table. Select that. And here if you had an existing worksheet, you can select the existing worksheet, or if you don't have that, you can select the new worksheet option and then just press OK. Now we have our pivot table over here, and we have our fields in the Excel data on the right side part. Now just select a region and push that into the columns, and now let's select sales and push that into the values. Now we have the sum of sales option, so we have the East zone, Central zone, South zone, West zone, and the summation of sales happening in that particular section of America or region of America. Now we can also make some changes to the values, like we have summation, and we can select some value field settings, and inside that you can go through count, average, maximum, minimum, and select few more options based on which you have to calculate it. Now let's push the rows, or let's push the regions from columns to rows so that we can have some good data in a more understandable form of view. So there you go, you have the central region, east, south and west on the left side, and on the right side you have the summation of sales happening in that particular region and the grand total of the sales. Now let's try to do this in the Tableau. So there you go, your Tableau just got started. So on the left side you have got the connect option and the various types of files it supports, that is the Microsoft Excel, text file, JSON file, Microsoft Access, and more on that in the next upcoming part where we'll have a tour on that. Now let's select Excel. So we have already an Excel file on the downloads part. Just select that one and just open it. And there you go, you can see all the rows and columns here. Now let's go to our sheet. So on the screen you can see that on the left part we have the data which is connected to the Tableau, that is sheet 1, the store data, and these are the dimensions and these are the measures. So basically Tableau divides the data into dimensions and measures automatically, and you can see some options provided on the top row, which is the file, data, worksheet, dashboard, story, analysis, map, format, window, help, etc. And here you can see some marks, which is the color. So here you can just imagine that you worked on some bar data or bar chart, so that you can use color options to provide different colors to your bars. And you can also select the size of your bars, add some text if you wanted to add in, and you can add some details if you wanted, and some tool tips, etc. And on the right side you can see show me option, and this particular tray helps you to get different types of charts you wanted to keep on your data. For example, you want to select pie chart, you can just select pie chart. If you wanted to go with bar chart, you can go with bar, and some area charts, and you can see maps, etc. And the best part is when you hover over this particular chart or any kind of selection you wanted to make, then Tableau automatically helps you for having the dimensions and measures for that particular chart. You can see in the bottom part where it is highlighted for pie charts, try one or more dimensions and one or two measures. So if you hover over the bar chart, you can see that Tableau tells you for side-by-side bar charts, try one or more dimensions and one or more measures. So basically it is telling you to have one or more dimensions or one or more measures in order to use the side-by-side bar charts. Now let's do the same thing what we did in Excel. So here we'll just select the region and pull that over the columns, and now we shall select the sales and push that over the rows, and there you go. You can see the bar chart over here, and it's automatically telling you the kind of sales happening in that particular region. Now you can even select the region part and drag that over to color so that it gives you different colors. Now if you see on the right side show me tab, you can see different types of charts available for your data. So you can have a pie chart, you can have the bar chart, you can have few more map charts, etc, etc. So that's how Tableau gives you automatically all the types of options that you can work on the data visualization by using different types of charts. So that's how Tableau basically works. Now we will go into the next step where I'll help you to install Tableau into your local system. Once the installation is done, we will get back to Tableau again and we will understand each and every part of Tableau in much more detail, and we'll also work on each and every type of chart present over here, and we'll work on multiple sheets, and finally we'll enter into the dashboard. So far so good. I hope you have understood the basic introduction to Tableau and basics of the Tableau fundamentals, how to use rows and columns, what are dimensions, what are measures, and what is show me, and how do you change colors of your bar charts over here, and you can highlight this. So we'll work on everything after we finish the installation process and get back to worksheets.
If getting your learning started is half the battle, what if you could do that for free? Visit SkillUp by Simplilearn. Click on the link in the description to know more.
So before we go any further on Tableau installation, let us understand the Tableau products first. So there are multiple types of Tableau products. So here we will be having Tableau's desktop, Tableau public, Tableau server, Tableau online, and Tableau reader. So let us understand Tableau Desktop first. Tableau Desktop is a paid desktop application. It is also called as Tableau Desktop Professional Edition. This is where the developers create charts, formula, dashboards, actions, and everything. It has a 14-day trial too. The dashboards we create here can be published on any server listed above. The data can also be opened from Tableau Reader. Moving ahead, we shall understand the Tableau Desktop. So for beginners, let me tell you, Tableau Desktop is like open source data. Whatever the data or whatever the sheets, whatever the dashboards you work on using Tableau Public will be available for public. So keep this as your reminder. And it is not preferable if you want to use Tableau for your company's confidential data, because it might go public and it might be risky. So Tableau Public Desktop is a free desktop application. It is the developer place for Tableau Public Server. It is free and has to come with some limitations like cloud save only, no live or database connection. They are widely used by learners, bloggers, and public information related institutes like media, etc. Now moving ahead, we have the Tableau Server. So Tableau Server is a free server in the internet. This is the YouTube or Blogspot in Tableau data visualization world. It is free and people post their ideas and visualizations here. We call it the visual blog. It has no user management or folder management options. You can hide your work though. It cannot have live data source, but only extract. So many people publish their ideas and custom visualizations here. We could find the inspiration from here. Now next we have the Tableau Online. Tableau Online is a paid server application too, but it is already hosted by Tableau software, and so no need to install it on any Windows server. It is better you need the Tableau dashboards to be accessed from anywhere. It has almost all the features of Tableau server, but only on the internet, not on your local system. And finally we have the Tableau Reader. So Tableau Reader is a free desktop application which can help us to view the Tableau dashboards created by Tableau Desktop. It supports only extract connection files. It can help new people to try Tableau by getting one license for Tableau Desktop and installing this free software on their end user's machine. It can open the dashboards, interact with them like filtering, tooltip, and parameters. We cannot edit the formula or charts here. Now I hope we have some good understanding of Tableau, its introduction, and the various products of Tableau available for users. Now let's begin with the installation. So the third segment, Tableau installation into your local system. Now here we'll be trying the Windows operating system. Now to install Tableau into your local system, all you have to do is open Google and type in download Tableau public. And you have the first option that reads download now Tableau public. I would recommend for beginners to select Tableau public because it is free. Now let's go back to Google once. Now on my screen we have opened Google. Just now type in download Tableau. So once you type in download Tableau, you can see various options. The first one though is Tableau Desktop, which is a paid version. As I said you have to select Tableau and it is free of cost, and you can try out your sample data over here for free. And once you select the Tableau public option, you have this particular web page open. And if you go back to the presentation, you can see that I have written something called abc@gmail.com. This is basically your email address for getting registered and downloading the application. So you can write in your email over here, which can be anything like I have written abc@gmail.com. Just make sure that the mail ID you provide is an official one or it is an operational one, as you might have to confirm your download. Once you write in your mail ID, just select the download app option, and you can see on the bottom left corner, the application will be getting downloaded. Now I have already downloaded the Tableau public desktop exe file into my local system, so I'll just cancel it for now. Now we are back on the presentation mode, and we were in this particular stage where the Tableau public desktop.exe was getting downloaded. Once the file is downloaded, just run the file from your downloads part and you can see this particular screen on your Windows, which will greet you, welcome to Tableau. And here you might have to select I have read and accept all the terms of the license and just install. And there you go, the Tableau public 2020.4 is installing into your local system, and that's how you install Tableau into your local system. Now we have entered into our next segment where we will be having the Tableau Tour. So once you open your Tableau, your screen will be looking something like this. So this is the Tableau in my local system, and you'll be having the screen which is similar to the presentation one. And here you have various options to connect to your data file, which might be an Excel, text file, JSON file, Microsoft Access, PDF file, spatial file, statistical file, or if you had to download some data directly from the server, you can even do that. So now we'll be working with the local data or the local Excel file in your local system. Just select that Excel file and open it. And there you go, you're on your first worksheet. Just select the Go to Worksheet option and you'll be having your screen redirected directly into the worksheet. And you have the dimensions and measurements on your left corner, and you have the Show Me tab on your right corner, and some marks in here, and filters, pages, and various options on your toolbar. Now we have finished the introductory tour to our Tableau, and we'll understand more about all the options provided in this particular Tableau screen through our worksheets as we start with our first worksheet. So far we have understood what is business intelligence and the Tableau's role in improving your business. Followed by that we have understood what exactly Tableau is. Then we have understood how to install Tableau into your local system, and we had a brief introduction or brief tour on Tableau. Now we will move ahead and continue with making our own worksheets and the dashboards based on the worksheets we have worked with. So advancing into the fifth part, we will be working with the Tableau worksheets, and followed by the worksheets, we will be working on the sixth part, which is the dashboards. Now without further ado, let's get back to Tableau. So we have successfully booted up our Tableau and we are on the home screen of the Tableau. And on the left bar, you can see that we have various connect options to the Microsoft Excel, text file, JSON file, Microsoft Access, PDF file, spatial file, statistical file, etc. And if you had to connect to a server, this particular option is not provided in the public Tableau. It might be available in the server Tableau, and you can see that if you had to connect to the server just in case, then you're provided with various options here. Like you can connect with Google Sheets, OData, Web Data Connector, etc. etc. So today we'll be working with local data that is present in my local system that happens to be an Excel file. So you can see that in my downloads we have a set of Excel files. So we'll be selecting car sales updated data file. Now you can see that the data has been connected to the Tableau and the rows and columns have been presented on the screen. So before getting started with Tableau, let's have a quick update on the data. So many times it happens that you download a data from Google and sometimes one or the other rows or columns might have some incomplete data. As you can see, there is an incomplete cell over here, which is the curb weight of a particular vehicle that happens to be Cadillac Cervelli. You can either try to remove this row or you can add some value over here. Like I'm going to add some value. I'm just going to drag this one because they both look a little bit similar. They have a same wheelbase and a kind of same width, so might be the curb weight might match. So we'll just drag it over here, or we'll just write it. Okay, I forgot to enable editing. Fine. So I'll just drag it here and I will have some values. Let's change it a little bit. Okay, so you can see that we have filled up the cell over here. Let's just check if anything else is incomplete. Yeah, there is another one incomplete over here. Let us just add some random values because this is just for practice. Yep, everything else seemed to be fine. So the important point or the update I wanted to give you guys is that when you save this, so when you get into a file and save as sales updated, so when you save it, make sure that you select the Excel workbook. If you don't select the Excel workbook, you might face some troubles while connecting the data to your Tableau. That was the important update I wanted to give you guys. So just select OK and your data has been saved now. And let's get back to Tableau. Now let's connect to the data again. By selecting the connect data option, you can see the dialog box come up on my screen. So you can just select Microsoft Excel and car sales updated. Open and you can see the data got connected just now again, and you can see the rows and columns over here. So everything looks fine, and now let's get back to our sheet. So this is the sheet we'll be working on. We'll be creating multiple sheets. So we are creating multiple sheets because we have some options over here. You can see that, right? So this is the sheet, and this is the new sheet option, and this is the new dashboard option, and this is a storyteller option. So basically we'll be working on multiple sheets, and then we'll start a new dashboard, and we will drag all the sheets that we have worked on onto the dashboard so that we can have a view on all the sheets in one single screen. So basically that's what dashboard is. There are multiple operations on dashboard, like connecting to multiple dashboards together and applying some operations like filter, etc. on the dashboards. We will learn more advanced topics on dashboards in the advanced part which is the next part 2 of the Tableau tutorial. So we'll have a basic understanding of Tableau functions in this particular part 1 right now. No worries on that. So you can see that we have options or the row names written in 2 different colors. You can see that the manufacturer, model, vehicle type, etc. are written in blue, and we can see that there is some sort of ABC text represented on the left side. And similarly on the other half, you can see the curve weight, engine size, fuel capacity, fuel efficiency, horsepower, length, price, etc. And you can see that there is an asterisk written just besides them. So why is this difference? Because Tableau automatically categorizes your data. So it will categorize the data into 2 forms, that is the dimensions and measures. So the dimensions happen to be the unique values of the data, and the values are the numerical values used in your data. So basically the curve weight is a numerical value, engine size is a numerical value, the price, resale values, width, wheelbase, car sales, etc. are the numerical values. And in the dimensions you have manufacturer, model, vehicle type. This happens to be the non-numerical values. So the manufacturer might be Audi, BMW, etc., etc., and the model would be some 320i from BMW, S-Class from Mercedes, etc., etc. And vehicle type might be some just a car or off-roading vehicle, something like that. So these are the non-numerical values. So these are categorized into dimensions. So sometimes there is a chance that you will also find the numerical values in measures. Like just imagine that you are in a college, and the name, address, and your percentage, etc., etc. are your values, and the percentage will be categorized into the numbers, which is the measures. And if you have a student ID which happens to be a number, that will not be in the measures, that will be in the dimensions. But why? Roll number happens to be a numerical value, because the student ID will be considered as a unique value, and Tableau automatically considers it as a dimension. If you want that to be in the measures, no problem in that. You can just drag it down into the measures and it will lie in the measures from dimensions. So that's about the left tabular column, where you can see the dimensions and the measures used in your data. And these are the filter options, these are the page options. This is a mark sheet where you can make some modifications onto your chart by making different colors, sizes of the charts, adding text to your results, and adding some details, adding some tooltip. Tooltip is basically something which explains you about the data which you're working with. We'll work on that. We'll see everything in detail, no worries on that. And now coming on to the right side, you can see the Show Me tab, which will help you with the various kinds of charts available that you can work with. So you have text tables, you have heat maps, you can have pie charts, you can have symbol maps, and just maps, pie chart, and side-by-side bar chart, stacked bar chart, horizontal bars, line graph, etc., etc. You can have scatter plots, you can have histogram, you can have box and whisker plots, and many more. Though we will be working with various types of charts over here. And the best part of Tableau is that if you wanted to use a specific chart, then it will automatically help you with the kind of data you need for that. For example, if you wanted to go with text tables, you can see that it is providing you the prescriptions over here. So it needs one or more dimensions or one or more measures together on the rows and columns in order to use this kind of text table kind of chart to represent your data with. And if you wanted to go with a pie chart, it says you need to have one or more dimensions and one or two measures. That is a must. If you have these kind of data on your rows and columns, only then you can use a pie chart. So this actually helps you out in real time. And now let's get started with our data. Now let's try to identify which is the manufacturer with the highest pricing. Now when you double click on the sheet, you can actually edit it, or you can actually right click on that and just select the rename option, and you can rename it. Now let's select the, or just write in the highest pricing. Yeah, there you go. Highest pricing is the name of our sheet right now. And now let's grab the manufacturer and drop it down onto the columns. And now let's select the price from the measures and drop it down onto the rows. Yeah, there you go. You can see that we have the data output on our screen. So this particular bar chart helps us identify that Mercedes-Benz has the highest pricing amongst the other manufacturers. Now you can actually make some modifications onto this chart, like you can increase the size of the bars. It is automatically selected over here. You can just scroll it to the right and left by manually, and you can make some changes to the bars. And apart from that, you can even choose an option here which says the sort ascending by sum of price with manufacturer. Basically it sorts it out. So if you select this particular option, you can sort it from the least value to the highest value in the ascending order. And if you choose this one, it'll be arranged in the descending order, and you'll get to see the highest one on the left and the lowest one on the right. So this is how it works. And you can see that the first highest pricing manufacturer is the Mercedes-Benz, and the least manufacturing pricing is the Infiniti. And you can see the Beamer over here, the BMW. Personally, I'm a fan of BMW. Okay, now it's just looking, kind of plain without some any additional colors or without a vibrant way of representing your data. I think you know what I mean. So for that, you can just drag the manufacturer onto the color option, and voila, you can see different colors for different manufacturers. And this one basically tells you the highest manufacturer, or this color basically tells you the highest pricing manufacturer, that is the Mercedes-Benz. And yeah. And another option is the chart type. So basically when you chose the manufacturer and the sum of price, the Tableau automatically chose the bar chart. But you can change that. You can just select a line over here, and you can see the complete data has been represented in the form of a line, and you can even select density, and you can select area. So this is how you can change the way you can represent your data. So automatic was the best one over here. So basically the Tableau automatically chose the best way to represent your data, which happened to be the bar chart. You can even select the shape though, and you can make some changes to the shapes. So that's how it is. Now let's get back to automatic again, and it's got the bar chart again. Now let's try to create a new sheet, and this time we'll be working on the horsepower. So which manufacturer offers the highest horsepower? Yeah, so we are on the sheet 2 now. You can see that we have named it to highest horsepower. And yeah, when you come back to this one, you can see the name over here. You can even edit your table by just double clicking on the name, and you can reset some things over here. And that's how it is. And now when we come back to the horsepower, which is the second sheet, Oh, I think you remember, right? We are making multiple sheets just so that we can work on our dashboard. So now on the second sheet, we'll be taking up the model name. We are going to identify the car which is having the highest horsepower. Okay, those are a lot of cars. Now just select the sort option, and there you go. We have the Dodge Viper. Yeah, Dodge Viper happens to be a muscle car, and yeah, it should be having the highest horsepower in the manufacturing model, or what do you say it, the basic model without any modifications to it, extra modifications. So the production model of the Viper will be having a 450 brake horsepower. That's really huge. Now we can actually make some modifications. Since we have different manufacturers like Bema, Merck, and any other manufacturers, you can actually categorize the models over here. You just need to drag the manufacturer over here, and you can bring the manufacturer to the first position and then the model. Okay. Another trick I would like to tell you guys is, if you wanted to switch the manufacturer with the model, then all you have to do is just drag the model and place it on the manufacturer. This will automatically switch them. Okay, I didn't place it correctly, I hope. So when you do it, it will actually switch it. Yeah, that's how it's done. So we're going to categorize this models based on the manufacturer now. Let's bring back our manufacturer. Now let's drag it to the second place. And now we have the manufacturer first. So you can see that the data got automatically categorized based on the manufacturer. You can see we have Acura, which happens to be the American version of Honda. So we have Integra, RL, TL, what happens to be the car or model names. So these are the cars offered from Acura with the horsepower 255, or no, it's 225, and 210 and 140. So this is actually the tooltip which is giving you the data according to that bar chart. And now we have the Dodge Viper here with the highest horsepower in the production model. You know, the Dodge and the Ford are known for their muscle cars with highest horsepower. And here we have the Merck and Mitsubishi, Nissan, and some other Plymouth, Porsche, etc., etc. Now we'll go ahead and create our next worksheet. So let's name it the fuel efficiency. Now let's select the manufacturer and the fuel efficiency on the rows. Now let's select a different type of chart over here. I think you remember the color option. And if you close the show me option, and then you can see the manufacturer over here. Now you can just make some changes for it. You can actually select a manufacturer, and you can either keep only or you can remove it. So in Tableau you have the Control Z option, which will undo the changes you have done. You can actually exclude if you want someone to be excluded from the list. So I've excluded Buick. So this was the one we excluded. So that's how you can do it. So when you press on the tool tip, you can see that we'll be having the manufacturer, and followed by manufacturer we'll be having the fuel efficiency provided by that manufacturer. So you can see that we have the good fuel efficiency from Chevrolet and the considerable efficiency from Jaguar. So basically Jaguars are the luxury cars which provide you the maximum comfort and maximum drive feel, so it will actually consume a lot of fuel. Now let's get back and create another sheet, and let's name it as highest resale. Now let's select the highest resale value and model. Now let's arrange it. So according to that, Carrera Cabrio has the highest resale value. That's good. Let's drag the color. There you go. Let's have the manufacturer here so that we can have a good idea of which manufacturer has the highest resale value. So Mercedes has the highest resale value, and also we have the model names over here. We can remove model from marks. This is the reason why we have multiple cars from single manufacturer. So we have all the cars from a single manufacturer. If we remove this model from the marks sheet, you can just see the manufacturer here. Now actually we can make some changes to the sizes. We have the size option in our mark sheet, right? So you can just drag and drop the manufacturer on the size, and then you have various sizes for the various options. And when you come to the rows, you can see that we have the sum of resale values. Basically you can make some changes to it. You can just select measure, and inside measure you have various options of providing average, median, count, minimum, maximum. So let's go with maximum, and now let's try to drag the manufacturer again onto the size, and this time you have the different sizes. So you have Porsche over here, Mercedes-Benz over here. So this is how the categorization takes place. Now let's create a new sheet and understand the filter option. Now just let's name it as filter. And now let's drag the manufacturer. So we have the manufacturer in our columns, and now we discussed that the highest pricing is from Mercedes, right? So if we wanted to find the next leading one, actually you can see it on the screen, but just imagine that we have a lot of options rather than the few options which are available on the screen. Then what if you wanted to find the second leading highest pricing car? So in that case you can just make some filters onto it, right? You can add or remove options using filter. So I would like to drag the manufacturer into filter and select all from the list, OK, and apply. Now you can just select the filter, right click it and edit filter, and you can see all the options over here. Just select OK. Now let's right click the manufacturer and select the show filter option so that you can have a filter bar on the right side. So now you can actually remove some options by selecting them. If you just click on the Mercedes-Benz, you can actually see the Mercedes-Benz got removed from the list. So you can see after the Mercedes-Benz, the highest pricing is from Dodge and Lexus. So this is how you can use filters. Let's bring back Mercedes-Benz again. Yeah, there you go. So far we have dealt with the bar charts and the overlapping bar charts, or what do you call it? This is the stacked bars, yeah, I forgot. And line graphs. Now we'll deal with the scatter plots and pie charts now. Yeah, so for that let's create a new worksheet. Let's name it as scatterplot. There you go. Okay, spelling mistake. So when you had to use the scatter plot, the special thing about scatter plot is you need to select both the axes, that is row and column. And when you're selecting the values for rows and columns, you need to select the values from this particular segment, which happens to be the measures. So you'll not be selecting anything from the dimensions. So for now, let's select the engine size for columns and horsepower for rows. So we've selected the engine size for columns and horsepower for rows. So once you have selected the data, you can see a dot over here, which happens to be the engine size for 70 and horsepower 28,428. This is some random value. Now let's dig a bit more detail into the scatter plot. Now to know the exact details of all the models and all the engine size and horsepower, let's drag the model name into the detail. Now you have some good, a more representable or the more readable form of data. So you can see that we have the highest horsepower engine, that is Dodge Viper, and the engine size is 8 liters and the horsepower offered is 450. Now if you have dragged the manufacturer into the details, then you can see that we have the manufacturer name as well. So the Viper belongs to Dodge, and if you kind of select the manufacturer into shape, then we can actually have different shapes for different manufacturers. So you have the shape option over here. So you can see that we have various shapes for various makers. For example, we have the plus symbol for BMW. So if you can just keep only BMW, then we have two cars from BMW, which happens to be the model 320i, and the engine size is around 2.8 liters and the horsepower is 193 brake horsepower. And another car we have from BMW is the 323i with the engine size 2.5 and the horsepower 170. Now if you want to bring back all the cars, the simple step is just press Ctrl Z and you have all the cars back in here. And if you want to highlight a specific car, then select the highlighting option. And then let's select Dodge. You can see the Dodge cars got highlighted over here. So just select Dodge Viper, and then we have Dodge Durango. I don't know how to spell that. I'm sorry if it's wrong. And then Dodge Ram Van, and we have the Dodge Intrepid over here. So if you hover onto the highlighted parts, we have the Dodge over there. So that's how you highlight it. Now we have worked on the scatter plot. Now let's create a new sheet and let's work on the pie chart now. I'm just writing pie and it's done. So for a pie chart, you need to select an option and hold Control and select another option together, and then we can do a pie chart. So for that, let's follow the steps. Open Show Me, select pie chart. Okay, I forgot to say, actually we need to select the dimensions first. So let's select something from dimensions. Okay, let's select manufacturer and hold Control, and let's select some value from the measures. So let's select sales. So now open Show Me, and there you go, you have the tab. So I'm in the pie chart in the tab. So we have the pie chart over here. Now I think we can increase the size of the pie chart. So you can just drag it manually, and you can see that the pie chart size is getting increased. So here we have the manufacturer, and it has the sales. Ford has the highest sales, and followed by Ford we have Dodge, and then we have Honda and Chevrolet, Toyota. So far we have understood the types of charts you can make, the types of options that are color, size, label, detail, tooltip, etc., etc., and filters, and the show me tab, etc., etc. Now we will move ahead and try to understand hierarchy in Tableau. So let's kind of make a new sheet. Let's rename it as hierarchy. Now we know that the model and manufacturer can be considered as an hierarchy because a model comes under manufacturer. So we can use these two from dimensions and use them as hierarchies. Now let's try to drag model onto manufacturer, and this should automatically show me a dialog box on my screen. Now let's rename it as manufacturer model hierarchy, or just let it be as H so that it's a bit more readable. Now you can see that we have the manufacturer model H hierarchy, and inside that we have the manufacturer and model. Now we can drag the manufacturer model hierarchy onto columns, and we can drag the car sales into rows, and we have the hierarchy values over here. Let's rearrange them. And now if you press the plus option, it's really mind, I don't know how to expand the screen. Let's try Control plus or Shift plus. It's not working. So I think you can see the minute plus option over here. Now let's try to press that plus option, and there you go. You have these sales according to the manufacturer and the models, and that too in hierarchy. Let's remove the car sales and try to put in the horsepower over there. Yeah, you can see the horsepower of each and every car, which is categorized according to the manufacturer. So in Ford we have various types of cars available, and similarly in Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, Chevrolet, Mitsubishi, etc., etc. So that's how the hierarchy works. Now I hope we had a sound understanding of how to create various types of charts, and we have the filter option, scatter plot, pie chart, hierarchy, everything discussed so far. I think you have a brief idea how to work with Tableau. Now let's go through an example of dashboards. Now let's rename this dashboard as car dashboard. Now dashboard is no rocket science. The only thing you do is just select the charts you've worked on and drag them onto your dashboard. That's all. Now let's select the scatter plot and drag it onto the chart. And now let's try to drag the horsepower. And now the fuel efficiency. So you can see the horsepower and fuel efficiency and the highest number of sales and the horsepower compared to engine size all together on one dashboard. So you can see the dashboard name over here, which is a car dashboard. Now you can have some options over here, like you can download the dashboard image and much more. You can even make multiple dashboards just like we made the worksheets, and then you can interconnect the dashboards and you can work multiple operations on multiple dashboards. I hope you had a good understanding of Tableau in Tableau tutorial for beginners. And now let's get back to the presentation. So now we'll discuss the company's hiring and salaries. So there are a lot of companies looking for Tableau experts, and some of the MNC companies which are looking for Tableau experts are Accenture, EY, PepsiCo, Deloitte, Capgemini, and Wells Fargo. Now let's also discuss the salary for Tableau experts. So the salary for Tableau experts in the United States of America is $81,514 per annum. Now that's an average salary, and these stats are from the Glassdoor. And the highest salary is anything around 110 to 120,000 US dollars per annum. Now let's discuss the average salary of a Tableau expert in India. So the average salary of a Tableau expert in India is anything around 5,06,000 per annum, and the highest salary is anything around 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs per annum. That's for a good experienced employee like 2 to 3 years. And you can also earn more than that. Now these stats are from the Glassdoor website. I hope you had a sound briefing of Tableau. And if you have any queries regarding this tutorial, please feel free to ask them down in the comment section below. And if you want to get the dataset that I have used in this particular tutorial, you can also ask for that in the comment section below, and the experts from our team will help you with solving all your queries along with providing you with the dataset. Now I hope this tutorial was informative and interesting. Until next time, thank you and stay safe and keep learning.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.